also see the reins of control in America definitely tightening. You know what I mean? And not to get too deep in that aspect, but just with reins tightening, with new technologies coming out, people can be watched, and you know what I mean. Data spying on you, your app spying on your entries on your phone, and just so much going on a day to day that it seems more like, you know what I mean, control needs people to be more submissive, whether male or female. And I think if it's a male, they hit you with toxic masculinity. But if it's a female, they hit you with, you know what I mean, you need to be more ladylike. You know, I think it's a way of desensitizing and, you know, taking the fire out of anybody. I think it's a buzzword now, just used to, you know,
But
silence people.
that's the scary thing about today is like they don't tell the women what to do anymore. Women aren't. You can't even tell a woman to be more ladylike, and or that's called toxic masculinity. They call
Right, they would say,
they call us.
why can't you ask
Yeah,
me to be a lady? Don't
they
tell me anything.
they call toxic
Which
masculinity.
I see it as a respect thing. Because I do want to respect our women. You know what I mean? At the same time, they're not like something under our feet. You know what I mean? So it's a respect thing.
But we've been respecting them forever.
Right. But women bring nurture, right? I've never seen a baby expect to suckle at a man. You know what I mean? Not in a normal
No, because
sense.
he's not made to do that.
Right. He gets disciplined, but when he's looking for nurturing, he's looking for that closeness, that love, and understanding. He's going to go to his mother, that part.
That's toxic.
That's not toxic.
You're being toxic.
I'm only describing
Toxic masculinity. That's what you're saying.
That.
You're telling a woman that she has to be the nurturer.
Yeah, but
you're toxic.
I'm not saying that there aren't fathers who have had.
I'm just kidding, by the way, Freddie. I don't believe you're toxic.
I got you, but you bring up a good topic. There are men out here who
that nigga toxic.
You're right.
But it's women out here. I mean, fathers out here who their wives or their girlfriends, whoever bore their child, may have died during labor.
Yeah.
And they may have to, from birth, take care of that child all by themselves.
Yeah.
And so they have to be nurtured as well as that strong, figure. So I'm sure it's harder in that sense. So I'm not saying it's impossible for a father to be nurtured.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that.
Though, you'll still have an auntie or a grandma or a sister, somebody who comes in as a female that you'll see that child latch or attached to still to get that female nurture. So I can only look at nature, right? I didn't ask necessarily to be born in a male's body, but I'm cool with it. I ain't never really had quarrels with it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what I got. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So that was the same time I figured out, I got fingertips too. I got a nose. I got, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't never had no issue with it. So it's just, I don't really know what it feels like to wake up in your body and not be all right with where you woke up at. I have my theories on certain mediums or medias that could, I don't say brainwash, but you know what I mean? Put people in understanding. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
But I'm saying, like,
I just know I think it could be destructive on a young mind. His point earlier that children don't need to be discussing sexuality.
Exactly. If you leave children to their own thing, they're gonna really go pretty much how nature would have that person to go. Like, even with little girls be outside playing like little boys, but then there comes a time in their life where they just be like, no, you're nasty. I'm finna not be dirty anymore. This is weird. Little boys, they call little boys being toxic masculine. Say that it's toxic masculinity when they're running around jumping on climbing trees and stuff like that. Like that's toxic masculinity, or trying to tell people what to do, organizing stuff like at the playground or something. But somebody would say, "Oh, he's being toxic." Like, no, it's not being toxic. It's just little boys do what little boys do.
The funny thing is, most people don't even. And I learned this with COVID, and bless it because we all survived and went through something crazy. But I learned this with COVID. A lot of people will speak of things that they know nothing about.
Yeah.
And when people get buzzwords by $1 million corporations and think tanks, and they get sent down the pipeline, and it comes to the door of somebody who just learned how to add 2 + 2. You know what I mean? It's a little difficult in my mind for them to now be on the level of even regurgitating that information to the same degree that it came at them. You know what I mean? It's almost like the conversation with Robin Hood. and they had it in front of Congress. Are people competent enough to play the stocks for themselves, or do mass people really need a broker or somebody to be their middleman to make smarter plays?
They just said that because they were just telling people that they believe that people are too stupid to be able to do the things they were doing.
For some people,
But
I've seen some people who made
it does,
not
free
the
will.
smartest.
Free will.
Yeah, but free will doesn't mean
freedom.
success.
Didn't say that.
No, wait a minute though.
Never said that.
Because in a society, you start to belong to groupthink, and what kind of culture are we creating? Everybody's microwave. Everybody's seeing this thing. So then kill niggas to God. Do you get mad at the motherfucker who kills himself, or the motherfucker that created the situation to kill himself? So it's almost, if you're gonna lock up the burglar, do you lock up the motherfucker who created the situation, gave everything to play for the burglar to go ahead and make that shit shake?
No. You have the choice. You have choices.
So, draw this picture. I'm talking to this kid. He's like, man, I'm ready to go kill something. I'm ready to go kill something. Goddamn, I'm finna wet this nigga ass up. Like, damn, what you want to wet him up for? Cause nigga stepped on my motherfucking shoes. Oh, damn. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's your choice, but if you ever wanted to, I ain't telling you to do. I ain't telling you not to. But I got guns for you. Ah, shit, you can get out there and give me $100. You can get there and you can pop his ass today. Shit, give it to me. Send him up. Boom. Did I just facilitate that man murder?
That's a crime.
Is it?
What you just did. What you just did is technically, yeah, that's a crime.
So is it the same when people create is it the same when people create the conditions to make motherfuckers commit these goddamn heinous acts?
Well,
it's almost like
But are you gonna arrest? And it's funny because they are arresting rappers for the things that they do in art form. But do you expect them to arrest a TV show writer for writing a sitcom that has murder in it or something like that?
So then
are the people getting locked up who make violent video games?
So I'm glad.
Are we gonna lock up? Are we gonna lock up car companies? Are we gonna lock up car companies owners for making cars? Period. Because more deaths happen because of car accidents in this country.
Cars, you can't lock them up.
The thing is, that's where you get it. No, that's where.
But it's okay for black
men
to die and.
That's where you get into the argument of that's when you start saying that we want to take people's guns away, and that's when you start saying that we want to take people's freedom of speech away. As soon as you start talking like that, that's when you actually get into, because where does it stop? Where does the buck stop?
But see, that's what I'm
Once
saying.
you get it start rolling, it's gonna roll.
To have discernment, for us to even say, well, if you can turn it, yeah, if you turn it in, of course it can. You can 69. One thing, 6'9". I like the way he got his tattoos, right? Don't agree with the motherfucker, but I understand the logic and he playing the game. Mm-hmm. So 6'9" is basically, you could switch it whichever way.
Like 10.
And you just see it from my, like, that's crazy to me. So when you get down that rabbit hole now, it's almost like, but what, like, is that morally right? At the end of the day, does this morally make sense? Does this stick to a code? And
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you right now that it's morally right for people to do shady business practices or anything like that.
Right.
I'm not saying it's morally right. I'm not saying that it's morally right for people to actually have to lose their jobs, but just because certain industries shut down and the government bailed the companies out instead of the people. But what I'm telling you is, if that person's only plan of action is, I'm gonna go do some burglaries, I'm gonna go rob, major choice.
But that's not his only choices, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. That has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Choice is the matter. Choice is it.
It's Oculus. You know what I mean?
I can't tell you how to be moral. I don't dictate your morality. There's certain things that does, like, one, people don't like it, but the Bible was a major thing because there was a rule book. So now we're into a point where there's no actually objective right or wrong anymore. But I believe in an objective right or wrong. I can call that company out for being wrong, but I can also call that other person out for doing burglaries wrong too. Two things can be right at the same time and wrong at the same time.
Well, I could consider taking from anybody being wrong, but can certain wrongs be justified? I say, in a sense, um, if a man is starving, right, and he has no coins in his pocket, and so the only way he can feed his family is in his mind, still in the hand. Now, grabbing it, running it, giving it back to his children. Now, does he have more options? Yes, he could walk up and ask that person, "Hey, my family's starving. Can I get one of these hens?" But maybe due to his disposition, his view, maybe past experiences, he may not feel comfortable enough asking that question. He may feel more like his only option is to just grab it and go because maybe what he looks like, or. So is he wrong?